let's be. We're going to spread this encouragement from the church to the street. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. And they talk about nothing but the unseen and unspoken issues while providing encouragement and love and understanding. She talks about issues that people in high places and influences are afraid to discuss publicly. Stay tuned. It's about to get real live. And you're tuned in to the Lekeisha Mosley Show.
Amen. Happy Monday, everyone. It is Lekeisha. And I'm your host of the Lekeisha Mosley Show. I am so happy that you are here with me this evening. It's beautiful outside. Oh, my gosh. The weather is perfect. I mean, it really is going to be a great year. And I just really believe that no matter what it looks like, it's going to be a great year. I'm excited about tonight's show. We're going to have a good time. We have a great topic, an amazing guest. And first, we're going to go over the topic, and then introduce our amazing guest. The topic is called Harvest Time Evolve. Harvest Time Evolve. You know, when you're in a different season within life, you know, when it's not winter, it's spring or summer, you know that some blooming is going to happen. You know that some weeds may form. You know that some bugs may occur. But at the same time, there's some growth, there's some personal pain, but at the end of the day, we know that everything always works out for you good. I'm excited about talking about that tonight with my amazing guest. So we're going to go ahead and introduce her. She is an amazing recording artist. She's an amazing singer. She truly sings from the soul, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Her name is Jayna Blackwell, a.k.a. Jay Sing. Jayna, are you here with me on the Lekeisha Mosley Show?
I am, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm so happy that you had time to come out and spend some time with me. Definitely, it's a beautiful day. How was the day for you?
Ooh, it was busy. I'm here on the West Coast, so I'm actually just getting in off of my job. Got to pay the bills, y'all, you know.
Hey.
And so I'm glad that's over. Now I can enjoy the rest of my evening with you all.
I know that's right. Listen, you're 3 hours behind. Listen, you're truly in some good weather right now. I know it's beautiful on the West Coast. Oh, wow. So tell me a little bit about just, you know, where you're staying in the West Coast and just about yourself, your career and everything, because I know we all want to know everything about you.
Well, you know, it's kind of crazy right now, you know, well, worldwide, you know, with the whole pandemic thing. I hope everyone is well and healthy and still wearing your protective gear and whatnot. But, you know, we're still going through that very much so out here on the West Coast. And as they're reopening venues and stores and everything, it's a level of concern and fear that's still flowing through, you know, everyone. But, you know, for the fun stuff, music stuff, pushing a new track right now. I've been doing music for a long time, and music has been a part of my life since forever. And so we're pushing a new track right now. It's called Tune Setting. We just released a few weeks ago. The team and I are very excited and pleased about the movement and growth of it, and we're looking forward to, you know, things to come.
Wow. Well, I think that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it too, because I feel like you put your all in your music. I mean, just listening to your music, you can tell it's coming from a place in you that really is sacred. It's fun. It's a story there. So tell us a little bit about really just how you come up with your lyrics, just for your creations. I mean, we really want to know about it.
Okay. Well, you know, I definitely work with a co-writer. His name is Kenneth Christian, and he basically came up with the concept of this track and as well as the other tracks that most of the other tracks that I have been pushing. And it definitely comes from a place. It's crazy because, you know, I've been singing for a long time, fronting in bands and singing background vocals for a few local artists as well. And but I just became a recording artist within the last 4 or 5 years. And he was a very vocal part of the reason why I did become a recording artist. And it's funny because when we were trying to go into the studio, I have a family, so I have a full-time job, and I was working hard, trying to just keep everyone afloat. And he kept saying, if you want to do this music thing, you're going to have to find some time. And so some of the lyrics reflect on what I was going through at the time and trying to record. It was like trying to balance our daytime life and then doing the music, recording and also performing, doing performances and whatnot all over the state. And so it was just truly a balancing act. And I think tune setting is the lyrics in that song reflect exactly what I was going through at the time and trying to carve out moments to get into the studio and actually record the songs that were written. So,
I mean, that's really awesome. Just taking that time out, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was, trying to find the balance. At the time, it was stressful, and I went through the whole thing this is not for me. There must be a sign, the reason why I can't get the time, because we would schedule sessions, and then I would have to say, I'm not going to be able to make it because, da-da-da-da-da, and then he would fuss at me, you gotta get serious. This is big. You gotta get this done, and blah-da-da, got all these people waiting on you, and so it was just pushing myself and forcing myself to finish. And, now that we're here and we've gone through the recording process and everything, we could definitely say that it was well worth the sacrifices and not doing fun stuff, a lot of fun stuff, but focusing on the craft and focusing on getting the work done definitely has paid off.
I know that's right. Listen, I'm excited about that because, a lot of times we do have to make that time just to go in the studio, just to finish the creation, and then when it's all said and done, you're happy about it. You're like, wow, I feel so good. I'm finally finished with this particular project, now off to the next one. I mean, I feel like there's a story there. So what do you think about that?
Yes.
The feeling.
It's definitely a story. It's definitely a story because I think, there was a time where I was completely happy not recording. And it wasn't something that, although in the back of my mind I always wanted to do it, it wasn't something that was the focus of my music career. At the time I was, performing, I was doing shows, I was singing backgrounds, like I said, for a lot of artists. So I was booked. I was doing a lot of gigs, and so at the time it wasn't really something that I was really focused on. And he came to me and he was like, "So are you just going to do and sing other people's music for the rest of your life, or are you going to leave some type of legacy?" And so got the bug in my ear, and I was like, "Forget him. I'm still doing my thing." And then I remember it was a New Year's Eve kind of thing, and I remember sitting down thinking to myself, I think he's right. What am I doing here? I'm singing other people's music, which is fine and fun. I'm still getting paid doing gigs and performing and whatnot, and it was fun. But I thought, at some point I should do something to leave something behind, for my family or whatever, to show the sacrifices that I've been making have not just been all for nothing, and so I think that was the motivation behind wanting to, record or take him up on his offer or whatever. And, I'm one of those people that if you put a challenge in front of me, I'm going to, put forth every effort to get it done. And so he challenged me, and so here we are.
I love that, how you put that, just challenging you. It takes a certain person to push you in a certain way, especially when they know your dreams and goals, and they all evolve together. It's like, I feel like God puts the right people in our lives that we will listen to, and, they know the right words to say. I feel that, In My Cool is something similar like that. Can you tell us about that? Because I want to go ahead and play that right now.
Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you. I love that track, by the way. And that song, that particular song is like a story, like you said before. And the story is, I remember we were sitting down having a conversation about music and what we liked and what we didn't like that was being played at the time on the radio. And, we're just lovers of R&B. I love R&B music. And, I was raised on listening to, the old school stuff, of course, the Motown sound, and then, of course, Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin, and Shaka Khan and Patrice Rushen, and those were some of my favorite vocalists. And, that kind of music is just something that we just weren't hearing on the radio. So In My Cool is pretty much like a love letter, if you will, to R&B. And it talks about missing that sound, I don't know if you remember back in the day how BET used to play all the great R&B music, Prince, and the list goes on. And we just weren't hearing that on the radio. And so it was just basically that love letter to R&B In My Cool.
Oh, that's amazing. I remember that, that time when we were able to listen to that and, you're going to zone and, some good R&B. I mean, it really just sets the tone. My God. Jayna, you have to go ahead and introduce that amazing track to the studio audience because they're ready to hear it.
Okay, folks, coming up next is In My Cool. Like I said, it's that love letter to R&B. And if you're a lover of R&B like I am, the references in the song are to just that. So I hope you enjoy it.
Can you hear that playing? That's my song. That's my rifles lighting. For crowded jumping, yes, it's on. Time for me to get it and show 'em how to do it right. Up in the club, a couple shots of Remy, VIPs going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe. Keep them haters outside. I'm headed out the door, yes, I'm feeling myself. Calling up my girls as I head into the nightlife. Work, no play, take heed, better listen. Get that money, don't let it make you. I know what's up, can't play them games. He's choosing, but I'll pay. Been there, done that, so I'm not surprised. Was the top one in my class. Don't hold your breath, cause you might turn blue trying to wait on something big. Have a backup plan to ensure yourself so you know just what to do. The club is jumping right. It's packed on a Thursday night. DJ's playing my song. I'm feeling good, turn it up tonight. When you hear that playing, that's my song. DJ play that song. The crowd is jumping, yes, it's on. Time for me to get it and show 'em how to do it. Turning up in the club, a couple shots of Remy, VIPs going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe. Keep them haters outside.
Hold up, wait a minute, that's my song. 2 step to the right, 1 slide to the left. I think I got it. Let me show 'em how to get it in. Much older now, knees stiff, hard to bend. Flow proud, little mama try to back it in. Drink in the hand, think it's a shot of hand. Hot to the bug, guess I'm off Patron again. Stick it with a 2-step and nothing else is on
When you hear that playing, that's my song. DJ play that song. The crowd is jumping, yes, it's on. Time for me to get it and show 'em how to do it right. Up in the club, a couple shots of Remy, VIPs going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe. Keep them haters outside. I'm in my cool, what's up, let's ride. Headed to the after party, night's not over yet. Been beat on one, hanging on my coattail. Ain't got time, say the line for them other one. Miss me with that drama. I'm straight cool, letting my head down. Don't take it wrong, no disrespect. It's good, trying to have a good time. Taking pictures, having fun, good things.
Awesome, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for tuning back in to the Lekeisha Mosley Show. We just finished listening to recording artist Jayna Blackwell, a.k.a. Jayna Sings, and she is truly, truly, truly awesome. I mean, you were listening to In my cool. I truly enjoyed it, and I know you did too. Wow, Sinead is amazing.
Yeah, so the track you all just heard is actually called "That's My Song." It's actually one of the first songs that we put out, and it was fun to write and learn to sing as well. So it's definitely part of that soulful R&B experience.
Wow, I know I enjoyed it because it gets you in the mood. It really gets you really hyped, and it really changes the tone of the day. You know, if you just finished working, if you just had a long day, it really sets the mood for you to change, you know, and go ahead and to ease and have fun, to relax. I mean, I feel like, you know, that's something in that song that makes you really shift and change into something really, really great, positive.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that was definitely part of the goal. And, you know, a lot of the music that I have put out is that kind of writing type music or mellow in the mood kind of thing. And you know, I think that's my lane, if you will.
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's like you know, you're able to pick a lane. I love how you began to talk about the artists that you love that really inspired you. You know, it's like you're singing just like them. I mean, how did those artists really lay a foundation for your life as a recording artist?
Man, okay, so there's a story there as well. My mom was a music buff, and she loved all types of music, classical, R&B, jazz, and even some rock and roll. And so she had a very eclectic music collection, lots of albums. And if you can picture, you know, a living room with wall-to-wall albums just lined up. She had special bookshelves that were built for her that contained these albums from wall to wall. And it was, so a lot of my friends growing up would be outside playing. Jayna would be stuck in the house in the albums. I would get lost in the music. And so, you know, of course, that was my upbringing. Music was a part of my life as long as I can remember. And so, you know, she introduced me to a lot of those sounds that I had growing up. And I remember a Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. That album, or, you know, set, if you will, shaped everything that I can think of about music. Once I discovered that album set, it just, all of those songs just took me to a place where I just fell in love. And so I spent hours and hours listening to those songs, as well as, you know, many other artists, but Patrice Rushen was a big influence on me as well. And so those two particular artists are definitely ones that shaped it, just brought it in for me. And every time I think about music, I think about songs from them. So.
Wow, I love it. See, you have to understand, you know, I grew up in music. I'm born and raised in Detroit. Mm-hmm. So I'm born and raised in the Motor City. So that's all we knew. Mm-hmm. We knew nothing but 8 tracks, you know, 33, 45. So, you know, when I came from school, you know, because my mother loved music too, you know, she would sit in her chair and literally just play albums back to back. Anita Baker was our favorite. You know, that's hometown. Yes. And, you know, Aretha Franklin. So all of those, I totally understand how you can get in the groove, and it's just in your blood. You know what I mean?
Yes,
you know,
yes, very much so. You know, I have memories of my mom. We would be driving in her car, and she would hear a song on the radio. She would go, "Oh, we got to go get that," and she would go to the record store. We had a couple of favorite record stores that she would go to, and she would just like literally stand there. It's a song I just heard on the radio, and she would try and sing it to the clerk, and her and the clerk would be trying to figure out who the artist was and everything, and it was hilarious. Or she would call the radio station, and say, find out exactly who that was, and then she would have to go get it. And there were many times like that I remember, or we would just get up and go on a Saturday and go into, there's a big record store that was a famous record store out here in Berkeley, California, called Leopold's, and it was a double, like they had an upstairs and downstairs, and we would spend hours in that record store just listening to records and just looking at albums and looking at the album covers and whatnot, and just getting lost in the music. So
I love it because it didn't matter what was going on in the world. You were able to zone out, soothe yourself, have a good time in that record. And, those records were, 10 minutes long, you know what I mean? And they were, they were just jamming, and then it was live, musicians. And, they didn't have, like, things today. Everything is just automated, you know what I mean? So it's a certain groove, it's a certain feel. I love it. You truly are. Music is you. You know what I mean? You think about that. I love it. Wow. So you have to continue to tell us a little bit about just evolving in your gifts and your love, because it, you said it, you grew up with it. It was in your blood. It was something that you did all the time. Tell us, because I know the audience wants to know, when we're in a different season, where it's not easy, it's a challenge. We all had them. We all go through them. What did you do, and what were some tools that, you were able to really soothe yourself in a trying time or hard time? Because music truly is a gift, that you're able to rely on. You know what I mean? What do you have to say about that?
It definitely, music is something that is universal, like you said before. It touches the heart and soul. And, even in church, it's just part of the worship experience. It sets the atmosphere. And, it's funny because if you think about memories in your life, oftentimes you can put a song to that memory, and there definitely are songs that, old school songs, if someone plays it, it just takes me right back to, maybe the first time I heard the song or something that I experienced when that song was playing that, it's just in me, you know what I mean? And but I definitely find time to, like whatever I'm stressing about or whatever, I can dive into some heartfelt music, some soothing music that'll make me come out of that. But there's someone that is, I won't say his name because he probably doesn't want me to, but there's someone that is part of our musical team, and he always would tell me, everything that happens, or anything that will happen in your career is because God wants it to. And, so every time something happens or it comes about or opportunity hits my inbox, I just take myself back to those words and understand that, this thing, this thing is so much a part of me that no matter how many times I've decided that I wasn't going to do it anymore, it somehow does me. It somehow brings me right back to the purpose or the destiny that has been pre-planned or preset, if you will, for me. And so there's just something about this music thing that I just can't shake. I don't know. It is what it is,
Oh, my God. I love that you said that, something about something that you just can't shake. When something is a part of your destiny and your journey, right, your purpose, you try to run. I'm transparent on our show, sometimes you do try to run. Sometimes you do try to, because if you don't understand something, if you don't, get a season, you don't get, and it seems hard. It feels like you have to make it happen, right? But that's not really what God wants you to do. I know that's not what God wants you to do. It's not meant for you to try to handle it. It's meant for Him to handle it. And we have to come to that point in our life where we understand that.
That is so true. And, I remember there was a time when we first started off on this music thing, And it's crazy because every time I think about giving up, I think about this time. I wasn't earning any royalty points. Nothing was happening. I mean, you might have a few plays, a few fans liked it or whatever, and I just couldn't figure out how to get this thing out there. And then I got an invitation to attend a music conference, and I had said, okay, I'm going to go to this conference, but I'm not really sure why, but I got a special invitation to go. But it was like right before I got that invitation, I had decided, you know what, I'm not putting out any more music. I'm not doing this anymore. At least I can say that I did it. You know what I mean? And so I went to the conference with no intentions, no real goals set or anything. And there was a time at the conference where they asked for artists to showcase any of the music that they have. And I just so happened to have one of my CDs with me. So I put it in on the list, and they played one of my songs, got a standing ovation. But there was someone on a Facebook Live, because the presenter of the conference had a Facebook Live going so that people that weren't in attendance could actually hear what was going on at the showcase. And that person just so happened to be Mr. Gregory Beasley of Seatown Records and the Turion Music Group. And actually, like a week or so later after the conference, I got an email offering me a deal. And, it was crazy because it was right at the time in my life where I said, I'm not doing this thing anymore. I'm done. You know what I mean? I put out music. And I just kind of hit this brick wall. I didn't really have the resources or the understanding of the music business to get anything out there to the masses. Mr. Beasley scooped me right on up and and helped me put out another single. And, here we are 3 singles later with a growing fan base, with, on all platforms, the music is being heard. We're getting points. It's just an exciting time because, like I said, there was that time where I had decided to give up. And for whatever reason, Mr. Beasley was put in my path without me seeking him out or seeking any other deal out, if you will.
I love that. The right person always comes at the right time to make sure that you continue with your destiny, your goals, It's really like that. A lot of times we have to just let the process move forward, let it go. You're not supposed to know everything. Sometimes it doesn't seem easy. You won't know all the answers, but it's all good. It's going to happen for you. Wow. I really feel that.
Happened exactly that way, not knowing the answers. I was very impatient. I just did not know the business well enough. But I think allowing someone else to come in and help you, but introducing other avenues to you and just opening myself up to understanding and learning more about the business has brought me here, in this space where I can release music independently with so much, much more of a buzz than I've ever had before. And it's an awesome time for us as a team, I think. So
I know that's right. Listen, it's truly an awesome time. I feel that, it's really time to just, stay focused and let God do what he does. This is amazing because, I feel like you can tell us a little bit about, it's funny, can't get in my face. That's interesting. So you got to tell us all about that creation, and we're going to go ahead and play that right now as well.
Okay, it's called "Can't Get on My Base," and now that song has so many metaphors because it was about an experience that I was having with, how you get into those little petty arguments with people, and there's a lot of competition out here in the Bay with artists. A lot of artists compete for the same gigs. There's only so many venues that offer, entertainment for live entertainment, if you will. And so, like I said, a lot of times we were competing for the same gigs. There was a lot of mumble going around about certain artists. I had kind of created this niche for myself as a background singer. So a lot of people knew me as a background singer, but may not have known me as someone that was a lead singer or leading my own band. And so Mr. Christian kind of wanted to, set the record straight. And so the lyrics, even though it sounds like it's about getting to first and second base with a relationship, it's pretty much about, this is my lane. You can't get on this because this is all me, whether or not I'm singing background or in the forefront and whatnot. So I think that's the nice, pleasant way of putting the story of that song.
Right. I love it. This is really amazing. Wow. Everyone, this is Lekeisha Mosley on Lekeisha Mosley Show. We're getting ready to listen to Jayna Blackwell, a.k.a. Jayna Sings, and we're talking about the amazing creation, Can't Get in My Face.
I'm sorry, ladies. The promoter only sent Trend Setting, and the one I just played.
Tune Setting.
Yeah. Tune Setting, my bad.
Right.
Tune Setting.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I
we're going
love
to go
that.
ahead and play that right now because they're all truly amazing. So I'm excited about hearing that right now. So, Jayna, can you go ahead and let us know about that?
Sure thing. Tune Setting is the name of a new track that we just put out just a few weeks ago. And that one is okay, so, to learn more about me, the co-writer on this track, he followed me along to a lot of gigs. And my favorite part of doing a gig is sound check. Where the drummer, it kind of gets your adrenaline going at sound check, when they're checking all the instruments and the drummer is checking that bass, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. You're like, okay, I'm here, the gig is really happening. And, you're doing that sound check, checking your vocals and whatnot and getting the mic just right. And so I think in that scenario, he wrote the song Tune Setting. And it's also talking about, I think you have to hear the lyrics, but it's definitely a metaphoric song. But it's also talking about, leading a double life. Whereas as an artist, if you're working full time, you have to have your hat on as a full time employee, or maybe even a parent, as I am as well. But then there are those times where you're on stage and you become this artist or this star, if you will, temporarily. But as soon as you get down off the stage, you got to go back to real life and paying the bills and whatnot. So it's pretty much that story of me trying to juggle all of those things and my music career. So there you go with Tune Setting.
Checking my stats, running background checks cause I'm cautious. It ain't hard to tell that I love being me. Thinking dating nowadays is exhausting. I'm on a natural high, not trying to come down. Just passing through, not trying to stop now. Love to see the smiles on my loved ones' faces. Then after my shows, it's back to the basics. From phone bills to car notes and insurance. Fuel in my gas tank and bridge clearance. Reppin' currency kings. Write it down, take a picture, a copy and paste. Haters are hating my ground.
Tune setting. Upgrading your vocals to high quality sound. A formulation. As it goes for Jayna Blackwell.
Been lost in this world trying to find myself. Saying, Lord, can you hear me? I need your help. need your help. Lost a few loved ones in my life. Trying to raise my kids and teach them right. Rent is sky high, trying to lose my pride. It's warm in my heart, but it's cold outside. Hard to survive, it's not like the 80s. I guess in my dreams I can get that Mercedes. Way over my head, gotta stay focused. Gotta pay this rent or get a 30-day notice. 'Cause it's a cold, cold world. Gotta guard yourself, be on your P's and Q's.
Heart and soul, diva of the Bay Area. As you know, it's tune setting. As we bring through Jayna Blackwell.
You're listening to Jules Live Worldwide Podcast.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. Hey, everyone. It's Lekeisha Mosley back on the Lekeisha Mosley Show. We just finished listening to the amazing creation by Jayna Blackwell, a.k.a. Jayna Sings. And, I mean, this is really awesome. We're having a good time. We're grooving tonight. I'm having a good time. I know you guys out there are having a good time as well. Wow, Jayna, this is amazing. I mean, you have a lot of great grooves. Get you in the mood.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed learning them, experienced, just the whole experience, recording and whatnot. It was a great time. So I'm happy that you all are enjoying the sounds as much as we are.
Oh, yeah, we really are. I'm telling you, just with this time, in this day and age, and, not to, focus on it or ponder on it, but, the world is going through. Okay, they're going through, something that's different, and everyone's going through it in their own way, right? So you need someone to stay positive, to stay trending, and to keep us together and upbeat so we can just continue to just enjoy life. That's what we're supposed to do. Don't you feel that?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely, especially now more than ever, and like I always say, like you say, everything happens for a reason. I believe not necessarily that we had to go through the pandemic, but in pulling some of the positives out of this experience, the one thing I can say, it's definitely brought me closer to my family. It's given me more time to spend with them and, allowing them, because, sometimes we get caught up in the fast pace. It's allowed me at least to refocus on my career as an artist, and given me more time to even connect with my fans and followers and whatnot. So I'm definitely grateful for these times and allowing me to get refocused and recentered, if you will.
And I understand, that's truly, truly a positive way. I believe you just gave us a nugget there to be able to recenter, to be able to align, and where we're not focused on what's happening, to the left, to the right, but we're just staying steadfast, and I just love that. Wow, Jayna, you have to let us know how we can stay connected with you, man. I wish we had more time, but please connect with us. Let us know what you're doing next. Let us know the projects that you're doing, because this is what I do know. There's a lot of artists and a lot of people are taking advantage of this time, just doing everything via online, so it's so many things going on. So what do you have under your sleeve going on in the future? And we're really excited. We want to know.
Okay, well, you can reach me on any social media platform at Jayna Sings 2. That's at JAYNASINGS, the number 2. And I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with you. Like I said, right now we're pushing a new single, Tune Setting. It's it's on every platform that you download and stream music. You can find it, as well as other tracks that I have out as well. What we have up next, man, along with pushing that single, what is really exciting, we just learned that there's some young folks, I won't call them kids, but some young folks out of Japan that have taken it upon themselves to create a TikTok dance challenge to one of my songs, Tune Setting. And it's so exciting to see. So we're embracing that challenge right now and pushing that out as well. And so it's gaining momentum, and that's exciting to see. And so we're just riding this little wave here, and we'll see where it takes us.
I love that. That's just showing you right there, just a different generation is really expressing themselves through song. You said TikTok and just other areas of social media. Isn't that amazing? So that's just like your music is going viral in a different generation, and it's just, that is amazing in itself. Wow. I just love it. You have to let us know definitely what we have to look forward to. We got our single coming out. That's coming out real soon. Looking forward to that. And your website, we already have that. We already have your emails. We already have all of those things. Go ahead and say it one more time for us, just for everyone to make sure they jot it down and stay connected with you.
Okay. At Jayna Sings 2. At JAYNASINGS, the number 2. You can reach me with that. You can on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. I try to keep it simple. And like I said, I'll be looking forward to connecting with you.
Wow. Listen, Jayna, I'm just so happy that you came on the Lekeisha Mosley Show. Definitely took some time out to hang with us, share your music with us. We're looking forward to staying connected with you and definitely supporting everything that you have moving forward. Just thank you for taking the time out with us.
Well, I, truly thank you for having me on, and especially for supporting artists like myself. There's all these great platforms such as yours that are very supportive of indie artists, and, it's very much appreciated.
Wow. Thank you so much. And definitely, I always say, if you have anything else coming up, you have any new projects, I always welcome you come back on the Lekeisha Mosley Show. We're looking forward to joining anything that you have moving forward.
Well, thank you, because I'm coming back.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
That's right. I love it. Wow. Okay, so you guys, we're going to go ahead to the last segment of the show, which is called Lekeisha's Love Letter of Healing, Encouragement, and Empowerment. We're going to go ahead over to scripture verse in Genesis chapter 8, verse 22. And we're going to go ahead and talk about, wow, the earth remains, which we know, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. If you understand what that word is saying to you right now, I want you to understand that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Nothing will end. Everything may evolve. Everything may change. Like I said, we may have a new season. We have a new harvest. It may be cold. It may be hot. Summer, winter, night and day. But know that it will not cease. God is with you. I'm with you. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you next Monday on Eastern Standard Time at 9 p.m. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with my artists. Come hang out with everyone that's connected. We love you so much. And remember to stay in everything that you do. Lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. Understand the next episode is going to be Jerry Works Live with Shay Sam. We look forward to hearing their next guest. Have a good night.
You're listening to Jerry Works Live Worldwide Podcast.
I'm on the front line, checking my stats, running background checks 'cause I'm cautious.